Hey phonies, Crazy Pretzel coming to you live with my NXT review. Now, Classic 1333 assigned me outside here in this crap hole area. I mean, look at this area. Fucking sand, rocks, acorns, probably geese shit, all kinds of crap on the floor. You know, I like working for the Revolution and all, but this Classic 1333, I'm gonna have a talking to that mofo for putting me out here in this shithole of an area. So, anyway, phonies, I'm here with my NXT review, and before I go into my show here, I got something to say. Now, what exactly does NXT stand for? Does it stand for Next Extreme Thing? And if it stands for that, then why is there an X instead of an E? So, really, they have a show called NXT, but they really don't have a meaning for it. So, what's the point, phonies? I'm confused. Oh well, let's jump into this show. Before I go into the show, let me see if I can fix this camera just a little bit. Well, let's see. That way you can kind of see my body a little bit instead of just my head. There's more to Crazy Pretzel than just brains, you know. Well, some things. But anyway, let's go into the show. So, this is the first time I've ever actually watched NXT, so if I'm a little bit rusty, I apologize, but you know what? Unlike Wrestlingfan777777 or whatever that phony's name is, I'm actually reviewing a show. See, but before I even go into the show, Wrestlingfan777893, see, phony, you like to complain about me and Grumpy Cheeto? Well, phony, we're actually reviewing wrestling shows here. You know, I'm not a big Grumpy Cheeto fan, but you know that phony actually, does some work around here. The same with me. I work for Classic 1333. What do you do, phony? You don't do nothing. Anyway, let's go into the show here for Next Extreme Thing. So we start the show off with a tag team matchup. We got Miz and Daniel Bryan versus R-Truth and Otunga. I don't know what his first name is. This was a really good match, I thought. So before the match starts, Miz cut a little promo basically complaining about Daniel Bryan. Like, I guess Bryan's lost the last few of his matches. He says that if Daniel Bryan gets pinned in this matchup, Miz will kick him off NXT and he'll never achieve his dream of being a WWE superstar. Well, phony, Miz, I got something I gotta say to you. See, Daniel Bryan's actually an FCW star, so theoretically, since he's actually under a developmental contract, he technically is already part of WWE, so in a way, he's already fulfilled his dream. Bet you didn't know that one, phony. Alright, let's go into the action of the first matchup. So the first match started off here with R-Truth and Otunga having the upper hand, and then R-Truth hit a nice flip dive to both Daniel Bryan and Miz on the outside, and pretty much Otunga took over for a while, and then eventually Daniel Bryan got a tag in. He hit an awesome missile drop kick on Otunga for a 2 count, and then he got Otunga in a heel hook move. For probably about a good minute or so, he had like a heel hook on him, and it looked like Otunga was about to tap out. And then Miz tags himself into the matchup, and Daniel Bryan is arguing with Miz, what the hell, I got things under control here, son. And then basically, when the referee's view was obstructed by a cataract and by their confrontation, as Michael Cole said, I don't know why that phony says obstructed. Why doesn't he say when the ref's back is turned? Something simple, because really the referee's view ain't obstructed. Yeah, Classic 1333 has already had this argument. But anyway, so referee's view is obstructed, and illegally R-Truth hits a jumping heel kick on on The Miz, on The Miz, and then Otunga hits Kozlov's choke slam spinebuster maneuver and pins Miz. So Miz and Bryan lose, but Bryan doesn't lose his career, as so to speak, on the show. And then after the match was over, Miz is yelling at Bryan, you lost, you better get out of my face, phony. And then Daniel Bryan threatens to slap Miz, and Miz, stands back kind of like, he was expecting to get slapped or something like that. So, I thought it was kind of cool that Bryan's kind of stood up for himself a little bit. So then we get a brief little promo, not really a backstage promo, but a little interview with Heath Slater, who's, managed by Christian. And basically, I guess last week, Carlito spit an apple in the guy's face. And he wants revenge, basically. That's basically what the whole point of this was. If I saw Heath Slater, I probably would have spit an apple in his face, too. Actually, I probably would have thrown some of this crap that's out here in this area in that mofu's face. So, anyway, then we got another backstage interview with Matt Striker, and basically Striker asked Miz, he said something. He basically repeated what Cole said about if Miz or if Daniel Bryan got pinned, he would get fired. But actually, Striker asked Miz, do you feel that you let the team down because you got pinned? And then Miz is like, I'm the talent of this team. And then Bryan shows up and says, well, all your partners have carried you in the past, and if you're so talented, why did we lose tonight? So we're left with that moment. I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, the next match we got on the show, we've got, actually we had another backstage promo before we get to it. Basically, it was Matt Hardy and Justin Gabriel backstage, and Hardy is basically, encouraging about his match tonight. You're in the main event, just do what you did last week and you'll get ahead, because I guess he won his match last week, which is my first time watching, so I didn't see what happened. And basically Jericho and Wade Barrett come in, and, Jericho's saying, I'm the best at what I do, and Barrett says he's going to beat, he beat whoever he faced last week in 3 minutes. I don't know who it was. Beat him in 3 minutes, going to do the same tonight. And one weird thing that Hardy said was, when Hardy was encouraging Gabriel, he says, he basically says, he's the first rookie to ever beat a pro. No, he ain't, Hardy. Anyone remember John Cena being a rookie and pinning Kurt Angle? Second matchup. So, we have Heath Slater versus Carlito. This match was, it was okay. Basically, most of it was just Carlito owning Slater for a while. And, the finish of the matchup was, Carlito was, gonna go get his apple and spit it in the face, but then Christian, took it and, was all like, I got your apple, and then, Carlito's guy, Michael Tarver, was like, hey, you better give that apple back. And then Christian's like, okay, gives it back to him. And then anyway, Carlito's distracted, and then he tries to roll up Slater, then Slater counters it and gets a 3 count. So Slater beats Carlito. The match was okay, but could have been better. You ever notice how Carlito's always leaving his apples in the ring? Well, really, those apples are probably dirty. And the fact that they're not actually washing the apple or washing their hands, doesn't that encourage, bacteria growth or something? I'm just saying. So, let's see. What else happened on NXT? Oh, they had a Darren Young backstage promo. Before I go into the promo, I'd like to say this. Darren Young's look, he kind of looks like a mix of Orlando Jordan, Coco Beware, and a little bit of Scotty 2 Hotty. I don't know. He looks kind of weird. But anyway, the promo, basically it was Straight Edge Society backstage. CM Punk, Luke Gallows, and Serena. Basically, they were kind of saying, it's kind of weird how, the first time you wrestled, he lost, but the second time when I showed up, he won. And then while that's going on, Darren Young shows up and he's all like, guys, I can do whatever I want, and then the Straight Edge Society's like, you can do it straight edge. Straight edge means you're going to win, and if you do it your way, well, we'll see what happens. Really, Darren Young, you can do whatever you want, but straight edge is the way to go. Just my opinion. So then we get to our main event of the show. We got Justin Gabriel versus Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett was the guy that Jericho's, with, the World Heavyweight Champ. And this was a good matchup. A little bit too short, in my opinion, but it was good. Gabriel kind of reminds me of RVD's a little bit. Kind of he's got a lot of speed with kicks and leg sweeps and stuff like that. I think this guy's got some talent. So, anyway, some of the big moves of the matchup, there was a nice leg sweep by Gabriel, and then Barrett took over with kind of working on the back and the neck of Gabriel for a while. He was choking him on the ropes, and then he did a reverse neck snap type maneuver. And then eventually, Barrett had him up at a fireman's carry type move, and then Gabriel countered it to a sunset flip type pin for a 2 count, and then Barrett hit this really cool looking backbreaker. It was kind of like if you ever seen Trish Stratus' Stratusfaction move, how she springs kind of up the top rope and then does it. He put him up on the top rope, then lifted him up in the air and then smashed him with a backbreaker. Got a 2 count off that. And then the finish kind of came out of nowhere. Both guys were up at the top rope, and then Gabriel knocked off Barrett, and then he hit a pretty awesome 450 splash and got a 3 count. After the matchup, Jericho, shows why he's the world champion, chucks Matt Hardy's punk ass out of the ring, and then he hits a code breaker on Gabriel and then puts him in a really sick-looking wall to Jericho. It wasn't just the standard Boston Crab one. He really, had him, wrenched back with, the knee, on the back of the head. It was really cool. So that's NXT. I hope you phonies enjoyed it. I might start reviewing this show. I don't know what's gonna happen.